we should be live.
Good morning.
Really?
Yeah, good morning.
No, good evening. Can't believe you're starting with that.
Good morning?
Nope, it's not morning.
Good morning. How's my little girl doing today?
I don't recall what I was doing at all.
I've got flames here that tell me I was this way, so follow the flame. So I don't know when we'll get back to our Valheim server. We'll have to talk to James, see if he's going to have it set up by next weekend or not. Hey, Michael.
Hi, Michael. I'm not expecting next weekend.
I'm not either, but there's a chance. I may, coming Saturday, I may also not have a live stream on Saturday morning. I'm not sure.
This minigame is better than Valheim? Is that what
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I like that.
I enjoy this.
Yeah, but we never get to hard mode. Not really.
Well, maybe we'll get to hard mode this.
It's pretty hot there today, Michael. I think we were at the colder end of the spectrum today. Not cold, but by the end of next week we should be in the 30s, so or next weekend.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of a cooler day. I forgot how hard this is with this character. Better weapons. Better armor.
Oh, so it's really hot there for you as well.
I don't hate any.
You don't hate anything?
I don't hate any.
Well, you strongly dislike a few things. Like good food. You know, healthy
I strongly dislike good food.
food. I meant like healthy food.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Okay, bananas, onions, tomatoes. Do I need to continue?
That's why I said, sure, we'll go with that. Alright, this character double.
So what kind of armor do you have?
Eskimo.
Oh,
Snow.
So we're nowhere close to a boss.
Oh, ooh. You almost killed me.
Okay. My apologies.
Yes, I have 12 defenses.
Hola. Yep. We went through this last time. I am not good at my Spanish.
I should learn Spanish. It'd be a good idea. You're learning your French. I should be learning my Spanish.
Trying to decide what kind of caverns I want to go to explore and where. Hey, Wild West, how's it going?
How you doing, Wild West? We're doing good. I'm doing good anyway. Shouldn't speak for Jess.
I'm good, I'm just tired. Milo's gonna say something, but I was gonna say we didn't. We went and saw a ghost bear today. Like, literally saw a ghost bear.
We did. Yeah, it's definitely been a long day, too.
For some reason, I don't see that, Milo. You see that emoji?
Just a broken page.
Yeah, broken page. Yeah, I don't see anything there, Milo.
Nope. Link broken. I have permission to see.
Are you on like mobile? Or on your computer? I wonder why we can't see it. Oh, we're on your computer. I wonder why we don't see it then.
Milo Girl's just special and gets to see more emojis than we do.
I was just thinking it's an American thing.
It could be an American thing.
That isn't rolled out to Canada yet. I'm on the search for Spider Cave.
What?
I know, I don't want to find the spider cave with a...
I'm in the spider cave right now.
Oh, are you?
Look at all the
No, no, no,
spiders.
not that one. The other spider cave. Underground. You're in the Crimson, not an actual spider cave.
Sure looks like a spider cave to me.
The spider cave has a lot of cobwebs and darker spiders, not the red ones. Yeah, I don't want to find the spider cave, but there's an NPC in it that I want to go find. We also have not found the glowing mushroom biome at all.
That's okay. All in good time.
Yeah, a stylist, right? I think it's the stylist we find. She's kind of useless, honestly, as an NPC. Basically, you can style your hair. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
I was like, yeah, you're gonna catch on to what I said. And Michael, don't be sharing your heat.
Yeah, we'll get plenty enough heat as it is. We don't need to share any more heat.
Let's see. And we have to talk about weather. I might die if I do this. Okay.
Don't do that. Don't die.
Those motorcycles are calling. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but they're out there.
They're definitely loud out there.
Yeah, we're supposed to get close to 80 degrees by next weekend. It'll warm right back up. It's supposed to be even hotter depending on what forecast you look at. Oh, you can hear the motorcycles? Yeah.
I can see why people hate motorcycles, but it's just the big Harleys that are so loud, right?
Yep. Michael spilled the heat.
Don't spill the heat.
Like, we need a spill kit then. There's a trap here. Oh, another trap underneath that. See, if you do this and you mine out the trap, you can't. Oh, you can't activate it on yourself, but you can kill other enemies. Okay, so we're only like 15 your way, well, Wes. It's been a weird spring. So, your clutch cable snapped on your bike? Sure, Juan knows more about that.
Nope. Never had a clutch cable snap yet. But James keeps my bike in good repair. James, being a mechanic, gets to ride my bike anytime he wants, under the condition that he keeps it in good repair. Does all the oil changes and all of that. The chain oiled and all of that.
don't know if you've seen all the fires in Alberta. It's kind of crazy. So early in the year for that.
Yeah, forest fires are way too early this year.
We actually have a friend who's surrounded by 2 fires right now, and I think he's trying to evacuate. He's getting ready.
Yeah, he was definitely getting his vehicle ready for evacuation just in case. I don't think he was evacuating yet.
Hey Jupiter, long time no see.
Oh, spiders, 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 spiders.
So you're liking the trekking videos? Awesome. Uh, we kind of had that one swell west where we had, when our ATV had a flat tire. Remember how long of a walk that was?
Walk? Kind of drove it out. We've had a couple.
It was kind of like a driving it out, but kind of not.
It's like, hey Jess, you drive while I sit in the front trying to keep the pressure off the rear of the tire. We've had a couple flat tires, yeah. Yeah, we've had more than one.
I know some houses have been lost to the fires, but I honestly don't know too much about it. Like every time you update, it seems like there's another fire. It's pretty bad right now. I want to go over there, but I'm like, there's stuff up here to explore too.
Can you get sidetracked again, aren't
Yep. More than likely, I'm probably gonna find an explosive. You know, that's how it usually goes with me.
you? Well, I'm pulling bombs, so I wouldn't recommend coming close to me.
See, I have this problem because I have 2 different type of bombs. Well, probably 3. Yeah, 3 types of bombs, and I had them on my top hotbar. You know, the quick select 6, 7 up there.
Yep.
And you know, when you accidentally click on that and you throw a bomb, you know what happens?
Yeah, got a pretty good idea.
You can't run fast enough. But this, you know, like I can see where the traps are. If I bother to use that pressure plate, I have to be careful that I'm not going to go on your side. Kind of so close to it right now. Oh, there's another pressure plate right there.
Oh, I've changed the spacing.
Oh, on your tunnels?
Oh well.
I have a new grappling hook that allows me to have multiple anchor points. So that comes in handy. The other one only had 1 anchor.
So you're not throwing a squirrel anymore?
No, but I kind of actually miss the squirrel, because then when I go on the surface, I'm not able to anchor to the trees. And then I miss it.
Why don't you just make it a different build?
Oh, I forgot you can do that.
See? Be smart. At least sometimes.
Yeah, but you have 3 different ones I could be doing. So close to not knowing if that's on your side of the world or not.
You stay away from my side of the world.
I'll leave that for
Those
now.
are my sovereign lands. I was going to say Merca, but more like Juanca. Hanukkah? Yeah, there we go. Wait, that's Hanukkah.
So your dad runs a crane truck, but does the trust is on the island?
Oh. Yeah, we were up by
Sydney.
Sydney.
Yep.
So we could have run into each other. Hey, Shep.
Langford is where you deliver down Langford.
Yeah, we Langford. Yeah, that was a fun run.
Hi, Shep.
Shep, if you want to join audibly, you can. We are on Discord. I mean, you can also not, but it is an option.
I know how often you die, Sheps, in games, so you can come see if you can beat my record or how many times you can explode with bombs. That'd be a competition.
What are you saying?
That I may have an issue with explosives.
Are you saying Chep can only play a game if Chep dying in said game?
Nope,
Is that what you're saying?
it's not.
Calling Chep out?
Maybe.
Poor Chep. Mini Chep, I mean, sorry, man. Failed you,
Spicy
Milo.
rocks. I have these really cool ones that go diagonal or any direction. And these ones just explode in a circle. And then dirt traps. The geysers are kind of dangerous when you find them by lava.
Spicy rocks. Good name.
So when is Wanaka Day? Like, when should I mark this on my calendar? Is it today?
No, isn't today a Sikh holiday?
Not really. No, it's complicated.
Oh, let me out. Whew. I have 4 health left.
No, it would be pretty easy to remember if it's by Cinco de Mayo, though. Yes, I did kind of just say you're not Spanish, but Spanish. Funny that way. I'm not sure if that project is. I don't think it's done at Linkport. I think you guys would be going back that way a couple more times.
It could be. I mean, we saw other wide loads headed that way from the project, so there might be continuing that. Yep, just drop sand on top of my head. That's really healthy.
Well, I'm playing a dangerous game with the silt right now, which is just as dangerous. There's a bibbing.
Hello there.
Ah,
Oh,
it's a James, not a Chep.
like I was expecting Shep. How's it going, James?
It's going good. I'm home.
Home.
Yep, home for a little bit.
Okay, cool. If you need anything, let me know. I'll be home this week, so.
So,
I mean,
were you planning on doing a live stream today?
I mean, not really. I'm too space casey, I think, to be productive. I could totally join for some Terraria. I just need to install it first.
You uninstall Terraria? I mean, like, who uninstalls
I don't
Terraria?
play as much Terraria as you guys. I'm pretty sure I've got hundreds of hours in Terraria, not thousands.
Oh.
Hey, don't. I didn't play that many hours.
Yeah.
One also has a problem with sharing his half of the world.
Yes.
Yeah, stay out of my
that
game.
sounds
But
good.
we can easily start another. Unless just to chair. Got it.
I have no problem because I am cavern happen.
I just like playing in a different style, right? So it's like multiple people playing different styles. It's like, well, your style ruins my style of play.
Yeah, that's where if I'm playing a multiplayer game with other people, it is a case where I'm like, don't get hung up on the way I want to play things. Because yeah, the way I want to play things is definitely different than the way most people want to play things.
What are you saying?
That I feel what you're saying.
James really related.
Terraria is
Bob the
louder than I
Builder.
remember.
He just wants to build.
I'm saying we're just.
That's what I do. I just build. I'm just digging.
Hi, Michael.
I was gonna say we all micromanage differently. That's just the simple way. We like to micromanage our games differently.
That is where I think the perfect game for us all to play would be Parkitect, where you share everything.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
You are literally playing a single player game with multiple people. It's you've got to figure a way to manage it, and I think that's actually part of the challenge I enjoy. I think that'd actually be fun to live stream exactly that, where it's like, who just spent our money? I needed that for a roller coaster, damn it! I've been saving that up. Who spent it?
I have a feeling that'd be you yelling that over and over.
And probably be me that's spending the money, so you know.
I think it would be.
Jess would be like, but I bought this pretty stuff over here. That was desperately needed for customer happiness.
Say, do you know what customers really needed for their happiness? Was Pippin, what are you doing? What are you doing to me?
Oh, when I went to your place last weekend
Yep.
to ride bike, I opened the door and Pippin was outside instantly. I'm like, son of a bleeping, get
See,
back
that,
here.
no, that's where you just leave him aside and make sure you gather him when you come back from your ride.
One would probably forget, honestly.
Yeah, leave the fluffy asshole outside.
I mean, when I went to your house on Thursday, I walked in and I'm like, where are the cats? Got my stuff. Turned around to leave, and Pippin was just sitting there being like, hi.
Yeah.
And then he just waited for me to leave, and he didn't try to escape, so I don't know
Oh,
if it was the large number of swords I was carrying.
No,
Like,
that
he
has
was like,
never stopped
3
in the
is too
past.
many?
So, were you guys all going to be going to Prince George this weekend?
Yep.
Yep.
That was the plan.
I guess
Hey, Michael, how's it going?
nobody has gone.
Nope. Also, yeah, I am totally down to join your game, but I will need an IP, or you will need to be on Steam so I can join you that way.
Oh, I don't know how to find
I don't-
the IP, so.
I don't know how you, or I don't know if you want to start a new world.
Let's do it.
Anyway.
Save and exit. And I have an IP that I can probably share. Exited.
I just found the glowing mushroom.
What's the rules? New characters?
I really don't care. You guys can keep up with your characters if you want or not.
I'll just do newbies, it just gets me too complicated.
Oh, it'll just be James.
You
I'm
guys
just saying that.
playing classic or medium or hard for difficulty for your characters?
Well, if we're making new characters, we can just decide.
Classic is usually what I do.
Classic.
Yeah.
I have no problem with classic. Classic is fine by me.
Top greasy.
To think of a name for my new character. Oh, I got one.
I had one written down that
Is it Milo gonna say Mini One? No, that's you.
No.
Mini Jess. Mini Chess. Mini Joe. Maybe Mini Joe. We'll see. Character creation pages. I'm really bad. I spend all day doing this.
what's it called when you mix up the letters of a word and make a different word? Anagram? No.
Yeah. Isn't that an anagram? Anagram?
Yeah, anagram's right.
Okay. I'm gonna start a game with an anagram. And you guys can decide what it said.
So we have to decide what. Okay, I guess we'll figure it out.
Like, the name I'm going with makes no sense. But it is a name.
Okay, I have made myself a character.
Classic, right?
Yeah, I made a classic character.
Oh, I forgot to look over Milo. Maybe Mini Joe will be okay. I always have to recreate that all over again.
Okay, so multiplayer. I should just be able to give that out, right?
No, but then you're joining. Am I hosting?
Yes, you're hosting.
Okay, so then I have to create a world then.
Unless James, you want to host.
I mean, I have no problem hosting if this is going to be a world that you're only going to play with when I'm
with
around.
you. Yeah, why?
It doesn't hurt to do that.
Or well,
And
Jess
that
is
might actually work.
already. Well, what would work in mine? Go ahead.
It might actually work better because sometimes computers don't like having a computer join from the same room and a different room.
Oh,
Like,
true. Yep.
as that happens. But it'll probably be fine. It usually is fine. So if she's already started, then
Okay.
we're good to carry on that.
You do it then.
Me?
Yep.
Okay. New world. Anyone have a preference on name? Mini
Nope.
what? I mean what?
Oh yeah, mini. Mini what? Mini what? Why what? Huh? Mini. Her battery's 15%.
You should call it sapling because that's a mini tree.
It's a mini world.
So we'll go sapling.
That was a terrible suggestion.
Yep.
I apologize for
Milo
nothing.
hasn't offered anything better, so. Do we want large or medium?
Up to you.
I just like the idea of large, so I'm gonna go with it. I don't. Also, do you leave it random or corruption or crimson? I feel like I like corruption better than crimson personally.
Then go with corruption because this game that we were playing is crimson, so it'll mix it up.
Oh, cool.
Corruption.
Nice. And I'm just doing classic for difficulty. Fine, we'll make a compromise. Mini sapling.
Mini sapling.
It's like those little tiny ones when you go hiking and you're like, oh, this tree is trying so hard. One day it will be a big tree.
Why does it say James is just online and not playing?
Really? Does it say I'm not playing?
You're just online because join the game that way too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me.
Except that
Yeah.
you're not actually playing.
It says I'm playing Terraria on my end.
Yeah, neither of us get that, so.
I don't know how to
I've got it on
refresh.
Discord that he's playing Terraria.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
doesn't mean
that
much.
doesn't help Steam.
Because you can join via Steam.
Well, there. That changed now.
Yep,
well,
yep.
well,
Never.
Yeah, yeah. Just give me a moment.
there we go.
Okay.
I basically logged out of the Steam Messenger and logged back in. Which apparently didn't need it because as soon as I edited it, or as soon as I changed anything in there, it did it. But okay, mini sapling is ready to go.
Joining game.
Steam multiplayer enabled. Allow users friends. Allow friends of friends. Server password is because of course it is.
What? Why can I?
The server. Oh, I need to allow this through the firewall.
She loves that.
It should now be through the firewall. Let me know if you still have difficulty connecting.
Join. There we go. Joining.
Wait, what? Grapefruit?
Oh, you probably haven't played this in a long time.
No, I've not played this for a while.
It's a lot different.
Okay, now what can I do to immediately bug Juan? Yeah, I have not played this in a long, long time. I like the background we have here with the floating islands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, just because James is hosted doesn't mean we're seeing James' screen, we're seeing Jesse's.
Yep. I have sunflowers really nearby, and that's not a good sign.
Corruption is that close.
Maybe. Oh, I have desert first.
I feel like this is a little bit early to be discovering iron ore.
Yeah, that's changed too. You definitely discovered stuff earlier than you used to.
That might be a nice house over there. Oops. I'm reading the chat, but I'm just letting you two discuss such a matter.
What are we discussing?
That Michael runs off of different sets of batteries.
Very, very, very basic house have been built.
I built a cactus sword.
Seems helpful.
Yep. Cactus armor and stuff is a little bit better than wood armor when you first begin. Not by much, but a little bit. Like, or did my Discord do something?
James or death.
No, looks like it was there.
Screw you. What happened to
Oh, that's crazy to hear about Michael. Oh, he took down. You know, I had 3 more sunflowers, so I'm just gonna come back and plant them over here.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There you go. Have fun.
James, why are you leaving?
Oh, so you don't even hear Juan at all?
Yeah, no, Juan's a ghost. I haven't heard Juan since very early on in the game.
Hmm.
Are you listening to the stream or Discord though?
Discord. Is Juan just on the stream?
No, but that's the
Why am I not on Discord?
basically what Michael hears is going to be based on what comes through the stream.
Let me see.
If you're not hearing one on Discord, then
So I don't have him muted or anything, so I don't get it.
Okay. No? No? I don't know why I'm muted.
Yeah, I don't know why you're muted either. All I know is I don't like Discord.
that is weird.
Test.
Okay, actually restarting your computer now?
Yeah, I don't know. What else would you
So is 9 mini percent last a shorter length of time than 9 mega percent?
Am I back?
You are back.
There you go.
Starting works. I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, I think that's just a case of Discord being Discord.
Oh, anyone anagramming my name yet?
I am not.
I was swearing and cursing and everything. Luckily, it worked. James is doing shit. Jess is doing shit. It's like, stop wrecking things I'm doing.
So I'm so glad that I got to basically wreck your stuff and then not even have to hear about it.
Winning in the sibling world.
It very much is.
But all you can say is that's why you host. If you want things perfectly, then you host.
That's whoever hosts the game. They make the rules.
Sweet.
Okay, how do I build something?
You're gonna need
What?
stone.
How do I even open the build menu?
Escape.
Oh man, that's so weird. What game even does such a thing?
You can change it. I don't like any of these trees in a row with the sunflowers there.
No, they will not. But somebody was planting the damn sunflowers in my way, so I moved them.
You know, Michael, I think having a second battery would be wonderful. That's a very different thing than not being able to sleep. Not being able to sleep sucks.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah, that doesn't happen to me too often, but when it does, I am useless. Those are the days I'm like, well, not going to work. It's now 4 in the morning, and I'm finally tired.
Oh, the house is
I
too
am definitely dying this night.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would imagine you've had a busy couple of days.
No, like in the game, the night just hit. I'm not
Oh.
surviving this because I definitely have more zombies on me than I can handle.
Ah, come on, you can take a couple zombies. It's all good.
Not when I basically pinned myself in a cave. I made choices. They were not good choices. But hey, at least I'll get a star. Golden star for me. Alright, well I'm gonna take my half of heart and go hang out with Juan. Oh, that's cool. Doors auto open and close. I like that.
That's if you decide. You can go in settings and change that.
I appreciate having it, so.
Me too. Like must have auto doors.
Well, there's like auto swap and everything else as well.
Have dug too deep.
No such thing.
Isn't that what the dwarves did? They dug too deep.
Too greedily. There's actually a game called coming out called Moria, and it's about the dwarves of Moria digging, basically reclaiming their home.
That is actually one I'm super looking forward to.
I think that could be a lot of fun.
Also recently saw an ad for one that I was like, oh man, I really want to play that. Can I remember it now? No.
Well, I just died.
Yep. I survived with 3 hit points.
I made his house big enough that he'll stay inside.
Where
of
did
it.
my grave go?
It's right down here. This is your grave right here.
Oh, hanging in the wall there.
Yeah.
I like that there's Zombies that carry torches give you torches now.
Jess is the only one with a weapon that's big enough. Some
Yeah.
Well, there's some cactus if somebody wants to make another sword. Does 10 damage, so if somebody wants another sword, just let me know and I can make one. If we don't have a chest, I can't put it in there.
I'll be happy to get a sword.
I don't know who this will be tossed to.
Toss to one of us.
Oh, how do you toss? Oh,
I got one.
Was that me?
I got one.
No.
I only had enough
Oh.
to make one more.
Yeah. You go do the dirty work. I'm gonna hide inside here.
Give me the slow one.
I gave you whatever one I made.
So the sword can only be as fast as wielder one.
I mean, it's literally double the damage that you
Oh,
had.
just a cactus sword.
Exactly.
Doesn't say. Doesn't say it's a slow one.
Mine says hurtful plus 10% damage.
It's a hurtful sword.
Yep.
It seems hurtful.
Man, Pippin is gonna hate this summer. He's gonna want to be outside every day, and he's not gonna be able to because there'll be nobody to let him outside.
We need to make him a catio.
Yeah, I definitely would try that. I don't think I've got enough time to make a worthwhile catio.
I'll come over and
I
I'll make
mean,
a
when I have a
catio.
free weekend, I can come hang out and he can
Yeah.
be a free cat for a couple hours.
I would offer the same thing, but you just hear about me being allergic to them.
I mean, I think I might talk to Mel's mom and basically be like, hey, can you just let the cat out in the morning and let him back in the evening? Shep, I am actually probably going to make a cat care group, basically Facebook Messenger group. So
Fair
I'll probably
enough.
add you to that, and then all the people who are willing to help take care of the cats can kind of coordinate.
I mean, you can
Yeah,
add that to
absolutely.
me
I
just in
assumed
case.
your sister-in-law would be doing a fair amount of it,
Probably.
but yeah, I am around for most of the times. I'm gonna chat with you tomorrow about some of the plans.
Yep.
Because I know that life has changed. So
Yep. Yep.
I'm like,
I'll-
well, some of my vacation will be canceled now, and then I can use
Good
it
night,
later.
Milo girl.
Good night, Milo.
Yep.
Night,
Have a good
Milo.
night, Milo. Yeah, definitely my vacation plans have changed significantly.
Understand why.
Yeah, no, it's just weird how sometimes things change for no reason at all.
Yeah, absolutely no reason.
Yeah. So I did take a picture of. Alright, I took a screenshot from her phone because she still has a sensor in her arm,
Oh,
so you can read the blood sugars, and they're just like 4.4 straight across the board. It's just kind of neat to see. There's
awesome.
always these like it always looks like someone drawing a mountain. You've got valleys, you've got spikes, but now it's just like nope. There's no
Just-
valley, there's no
That's pretty awesome.
spike.
That
Yeah,
is
but
It's
is
just
that-
very
awesome.
flat.
Is that actually her organs doing that, or is that all the
That's
medication?
that's her new pancreas. There's
Okay.
no insulin is being given.
That's
New pancreas
awesome.
is doing its job.
Like, that's so exciting to hear about.
That's one of those things where I'm like, that's actually really kind of cool. There are things that are less exciting, but that is one of those things where it's like, this is actually really neat.
Yep. recovery is going to be a long process.
Yep.
I'd be joking that now it's gonna be me on trips. It's like, okay, fucking feed me. But it's
Yeah.
always been me on trips being like, feed me, so.
Yeah. Every time that it should have been crafting spirit, it usually still wasn't. Because she's always been very prone to, I'll survive, and it's like, no, you literally won't. You literally have a medical condition that means that the answer to this is not as simple as that. Oh, hello, gnome.
What? No.
Gnome.
I say yes.
Oh, yep, there's corruption right there. I'm not ready. This weapon is so painful.
Slow.
Yeah.
I do love that the last time I played Terraria, it was like, oh yeah, we're done with Terraria.
Yep, last
And then
update.
it's still a very different game than it was since then.
It sounds like they were like, okay, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. And then they had like a dream.
Yep.
And they're like, oh.
Oh, what about
shoot.
this cool idea, right? Yep.
Well, the last update they opened it up to what other people wanted, like players.
Yeah.
So there's some really weird things. So I'm just gonna keep the corruption away for good, but it'll be something till I get back here.
Dang floating frickin' bloom.
I mean, kinda?
Oh, I mean, floating slimes. They have balloons and they float around.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
more
fine.
Michael was asking about lightning.
Oh, lightning. What about lightning?
Is 1,700 feet close for lightning. And I'm like, kinda, but also like, it could be hitting you, which is really close for lightning, so.
Hitting you would be closer. Yes.
Yeah, I don't like being hit by lightning. Other than that, I don't really mind how close lightning gets.
I love lightning.
I'm trying to think. The
How many
closest
times
lightning I've seen has probably been within 100 meters. That gets kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
I remember Terraria, the tree right, neighbor's tree right behind our house blew up. That was close.
Yeah, I don't think I remember that one. I don't think I've ever seen something actually like really damaged by lightning.
We had literally the tree right next to our house. Like, it kind of damaged the roof of the house, you know.
Yeah. But that's the. I've never actually seen lightning destroy something. I've seen things destroyed by lightning, but I've never actually seen
Hi, Mr. Dan.
the lightning do the destroying. Oh, I
Part
guess
of me
I'm
really
messed
just
up.
needs Mr. Dan to respond. Just call me Dan. Mr. Dan's my dad. And that's just the horrible person inside of me. I am so sorry.
Well, one thing that bugs me when people come into chat and then say that we're supposed to call them by a different name. It's like, in that case, use that name.
I mean, it's partly
Yeah.
why I changed mine. Now all my Google Docs say Chef, which is kind of great.
It's like, if you want me to call you by that name, then go and change your name. It's not that hard to change your name in YouTube.
Yeah, it's always got me when someone like has a username and they're like, "Oh no, call me blah blah," and I'm like, "Then why is that not your username?
Yep.
Why is your username something else than what you want to be called? I don't understand." But I'm also easily confused, so maybe there's a very simple, easy to understand answer that I just don't get.
Because you're simple.
I am a simple man.
So I picked up a shift today because I messaged my manager and was like, haha, plans have changed. I can work. And he was like, do you want to work Saturday? And I'm like, I said within my availability, but fine. Because I don't usually work the weekends. And went in today, and today was one of the weirdest days for people asking me about my name because I have it as at work as a non. So I definitely had 2 different people ask me how to pronounce it and say it was really unique and they've never heard it before. And then I had somebody who did get the joke and asked me how anonymous I was. And I said exceedingly. But I kind of expect that from him because he's the dude that goes by, and I'm going to try and do this right, Enrico. And you have to roll the R or he gets mad at you.
I mean, that is fair, because
That's how you do it.
Nico is
I
is
am
a completely different name.
85% sure that that is not his real name, and I do really want to know that if he uses that name when my Mexican coworker's there. Because he insists that his buddy's name, who he calls his bucktooth pal, that really annoys me, is Enrico. No, not Enrico, sorry, Ricardo, with the R rolling. And I'm like, do you do this when my my coworker's there? Like, do you keep this gambit going or not? I'm not sure.
Where was this? This was in Portland. Somebody asked me my name, and I'm like, Juan. What? Juan. So I show him one of my magnets. He goes, oh, you mean Juan? I'm like, no, I said Juan. You might be calling me Juan. Don't correct me how to pronounce my fucking name.
I love that.
No, it's okay, Juan. You're pronouncing it wrong. It's Mini Juan.
People go by Juan instead of Juan, but I prefer to go with the proper pronunciation of Juan.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. If it was just him, and he was like, my name's Enrico, I'd be like, okay. But the fact that he comes in with this dude, and he's like, oh yeah, and this is my friend Ricardo, and there is a small chance, there is a very small chance, that they both had parents who were like, yes, these are the names. It is a very small chance. And as I said, he just drives me nuts, because he's always like, oh yeah, and my bucktooth pal here would like, and I'm like, I would not be friends with you.
Can't survive like this.
Like, he was complaining today, because I guess yesterday was his birthday, and he's like, and all my friends forgot, and I'm like, I wonder.
Yep.
Yep. When all your friends forget, maybe they didn't forget.
I was
They
saying
just don't
maybe
wanna
they
deal
couldn't
with it.
find him in their phone listing with a different name.
Yeah, sure. I had a elementary school teacher actually spell my name with a Q. It's like, not only could you not pronounce my name right, couldn't even fucking spell it. Look at your morning roll call page. Actually spell it right.
Like, it'd be the one thing if they didn't get your name written out for them. But they have a literal copy of your name. It's not like they have to guess.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty spectacularly awful.
What's the thing, like, my semester of teaching, like, half the kids were of, like, Indian descent. And I took one look at that list and went, oh no. And definitely got called out. They were like, you're pronouncing her name like you're Italian. And I'm like, yes. This is the only other language that I speak equally poorly.
Actually, it'd be interesting. Michael, you're Hispanic. How do you guys pronounce Juan over there? Is it with a W sound, Q sound, or an H sound? Because I know certain Juans go by different pronunciations. I think most Hispanic Juans actually go with H. There's a YouTuber Juan something or other. He's actually stopped pronouncing his own name, Juan, and started going Juan because that's what everybody expects. See, you go with a W. See, it's wrong. At least my name is wrong with the W.
I mean, you just say Quan and Juan.
It's just going through.
Well, Quan was there before I asked the question.
My vague understanding from Spanish class, which means absolutely nothing, was that it is more commonly an H. But that is my poor understanding from school.
Yeah, ask someone. I'd be interested to see what. And I know just because you're Hispanic, it means that, or Hispanic descent means that you have to know how to speak Spanish perfectly, right?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly how that works.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Accurate.
so Michael should have the perfect answer the first time here, so I'm a little disappointed.
It's actually why I'm on push to talk, because I have to practice getting rid of the Scottish accent before I come back.
I'm like, Michael has said multiple times he doesn't know Spanish.
Oh, I know. Michael doesn't speak Spanish, but still, you have Hispanic descent. So when people ask where you're from, they mean, or they go, where are you really from? I don't get that because
I
I'm
hate
as
that
white
so
as
much.
white as.
Yeah.
It's like I get that conversation. Somebody like I had someone just go comment about me going to Vancouver and welcome to China, right? It's like, oh, and what native tribe are you from? He starts backpedaling like crazy. And then he goes, what about you? What tribe are you in? I'm like, no, I'm fresh off the boat. I'm first generation.
Yeah.
Am I technically first generation or third generation? Or both?
Both. That's where I'm first generation, you're third generation. Because the weird way laws are written.
I'm pretty sure I'm considered first.
James, wait, you didn't have to swear fealty though, did you?
No?
So you were still a Canadian born abroad though, right?
No.
Because the laws had changed already by then.
Yeah. The laws changed. I don't believe I am a Canadian born abroad.
You've done it now, Juan. They're gonna hunt him down and make him swear fealty.
I did not have to swear. Because I was born Canadian.
Yeah,
The laws, at the time, the laws said that as long as your grandparents are Canadian, you are automatically Canadian as well.
And that may actually be the way things have gone, is the fact that I might now be retroactively Canadian born abroad.
Because
But the way the laws were written last time I I saw
There's
it was
a couple years where the laws are that way. They actually call us the Forgotten Canadians, or the Lost Canadians.
Yeah, I think
There's a couple of years from 77, anyone born between 77 and 81, 82, somewhere in there. All those. The tricky part about the law there was, thank goodness, whoever did the paperwork for mom and dad mentioned that to them, that we would have to renew our citizenship when we became 18, or before we were 23.
yeah.
Because I have cousins that did the same thing, became Canadians born abroad, but didn't know they had to renew their citizenship before they hit 23, and now they're in this weird limbo land where they've lived in Canada most of their life, but are not Canadian anymore because they didn't renew their Canadian citizenship. So anyone born between 77 and I think it was 82, as long as your grandparents were Canadian, you were born a Canadian.
Yeah.
Are you trying to give me those back?
I don't know how they came in my inventory, but I don't want them.
I'm gonna probably replace that. But let's get the background for now. Now this game has NPC happiness now, which is
Yes.
a whole different thing.
So NPCs have to be placed with NPCs they like and in biomes that they like.
Do you have a
That
chair?
is very interesting.
I don't have a chair on me, but I can make one.
No, I took it down and I think it went in your room.
Oh. Be a possibility. I do, yes.
Thanks. Will we be live tomorrow?
Yes. I believe I will be live. I'll definitely be alive.
Alive is good.
I think being alive is my only vague plan for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That involves too much planning for me.
What the blazes? How are you getting in?
Probably let them in when he was moving down to this house that I just put him in.
Okay, the finching staff is my favorite thing now.
Isn't it great?
The what
Is
staff?
finching staff. It summons a baby finch, and the finch will fight for you.
Yeah, the little bird on
Oh.
your
It
head.
sleeps in your hair.
Yeah, I love that.
I have not found one of them yet.
I have a shoddy finching staff.
There's a lot of different ones that will fight for you now. And there's a lot of crossovers from like Project Zomboid and stuff. You'll see that too. It's pretty cool, the stuff they've been
That's
doing.
kind of cool.
Yeah, some of those crossovers from different games are fan
Yeah.
made type of things.
So James, do you want to sort it all?
No, I'll make one
Okay.
at some point here.
What the blazes? Are you full cactus mode?
Yeah, cactus armor. And the bonus for it is attackers take damage from the cactus spines. So I'm a little pokey.
I've got wooden armor, so I've got 5.
I have 4. Oh no. Michael's talking about the highway again.
I thought we were done with the highway. I hoped we were done with the highway.
The highway's never done.
I was like, there goes that star.
That was my first star.
Okay, so there's 1 light instead of 2 lights.
Was what?
I don't know. He's talking about how there's only 1 light instead of 2 lights.
Sure.
I think he's talking about 1 light between 2 lanes rather than 1 light per lane. I feel like that's not common and not uncommon, really.
Give you some acorns.
You give me acorns?
Yep.
I felt like you were giving me something. I didn't know what.
I just
I was
figured.
afraid it would be some kind of disease, but
I don't keep this kid friendly. Like, you like to build your tree farm, so.
I am building a tree farm. You noticed?
I just know that's like the first thing you do. The second run doesn't have a light.
What? Second light doesn't have a light?
Second road
You're
doesn't
crazy.
have. Like, you can figure it out. any rules about digging, mining?
Yeah, stay away from my metal I have right in front of me.
Yeah, I see that. I clearly see that.
You know, you can go down. I'm putting doors every other floor. Feel free to dig sideways anyway. To this cavern that we have here. You know how much you like your caverns.
Mm-hmm.
So that feels like a shot. Feels like a personal attack. I just don't know how.
Who's getting personally attacked?
Possibly Jess.
What?
Your comment about how she enjoys caverns seems like it was targeted.
I'm just used to it.
Gets distracted.
I do get distracted, and I usually end up blowing myself up.
I mean, that's fair.
A lot of deaths are involved.
That's the way to play this game, isn't it?
Oh, if you collect your gravestones, I think we need 10 of them. And then you put them together, you make like a graveyard biome where you can make special stuff. So it's actually worth keeping your gravestones. Headstones, if you find them. If you go back for them, I should say.
Apparently we are now grave diggers.
Yeah, but that's one of the things you can make,
Grave diggers or
actually.
grave robbers?
There's a shovel that you
Porque
can...
no los dos?
Generally, people digging the graves are not the people robbing the graves. Sometimes they are.
Eh,
Generally not.
As long as the graves don't include the creepy little bell that rings long after it should.
well, that's where you get some crossovers from Don't Starve. And the graveyard stuff. Like I say, they've done it with a lot of games. It's kind of fun.
Where's James?
Well, if we all join, like, the green
Wherever
team.
James is, I'm willing to bet it's doing something that will make you twitch.
Yep.
This is probably true.
I would never do such a thing.
It's way over there. I can
Are
see
you
my
flat?
land.
We stream on YouTube, not Twitch.
Horrendous. Good job.
That's what I'm here for.
We're in the wrong chat. Although I don't think the other one has a like drum thing. At least we haven't found it yet.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm confused too.
Because.
Ah, there we go. That was what I was looking for, except for I wasn't really looking.
Because it's there.
I wasn't expecting that, so it
Yeah,
kind of startled
yep,
me.
there we go.
Discord has basically put soundboards in so you can make sounds.
Oh, hey, look, that solves all the swearing problems.
It's never duck, though.
It's never
Autocorrect.
done.
Oh, boy.
Come on, I can see you
Okay,
having
I will
fun
stop
with
now.
this.
I will just say that we had a council meeting where somebody had no audio in terms of mic, and there was a lot of soundboard.
So this soundboard is
great.
in Discord now?
Yeah, so at the bottom where you can basically turn on camera, share your screen, or start activity, there is open soundboard, and it will let you open the soundboard, and it's just got a few different sound effects you can add. You can add your own, like for this Discord, I could add my own sound effects to it.
Off. Like that?
Yeah, exactly like that. Exactly like that.
There was definitely some usage of it yesterday in a different game. But they were personalized and they were pretty great.
Interesting. Discord has gone to a new low.
I like to think of it as a lateral step rather than a up or down.
Ouch. Found a trap. I'm in a block.
You're in a block.
You see that? I'm in the, like, blocks.
Jump and go up higher.
Oh,
And then make it wiggle. Can you run sideways in it?
just that little bit.
That one block, darn. It's like, found a glitch. Traveling merch? I mean, we have no money to buy for.
Does he have anything good?
Sell what I have in inventory.
Well, we have a merchant down there, too.
Oh, I didn't know we had. Extendo grip, paint sprayer, pink flamingo, bamboo leaf. Summons a baby red panda. Does it actually fight for you though?
Probably not.
It's one platinum though.
We definitely have the money for that.
Yeah, definitely another money.
I know how to make good money in this game.
Gotta make good money.
Yep, it involves bunny stew.
Bunny stew. Yes, you can cook bunnies and squirrels now, James. You get a net.
Ah,
You need to make a cooking station. Catch the rabbits, the birds, everything, make stew, and then you sell that. And you make some good money off of it, because you know how many bunnies are on top of the surface. Oh, Michael, I don't. But to be honest, I'm kind of tired, so
Yeah, I don't understand this light thing either, so. I'll be honest though, I don't care either. Why don't you draw a diagram and email it?
do you say email it or mail it?
Mail it, yeah.
I prefer the idea of Michael like drawing this, putting it in a envelope and mailing it.
Physically.
That's, yep. With no explanation, just like a really interesting looking, like.
Yeah.
I would love it to be
You're-
done in
you-
crayon, but I do not
you-
expect this.
And you get it, and you're like, what the heck was this about? I don't understand.
Yeah.
pretty
Like on the
much.
back of like a paper menu from like IHOP or something. But very much the equivalent
Waffle
of
House,
I thought
Waffle
about
House.
this. Well, that's the thing. I was like, it's probably Waffle House, but I've never been to a Waffle House, so I don't know what their menus look like.
Oh, I understand what you're talking about, Michael. We have some of those in Spokane. Yes. Uh, Basically, it's on ramp, off ramp. It gets rid of all intersections except for on top of the bridge of the overpass. There's one set of lights, and it's actually super efficient. A lot less red light stuff. I think, yeah, single point urban interchange. I think it would move traffic a lot more conveniently everywhere. So that they need to do that everywhere. I understand you now, Michael. Single point interchange. Single point urban.
Next time we're in Spokane, you can point it out to me then.
It's actually in Idaho, close enough to Spokane. I guess it's not actually in Spokane.
I'm like, I know just enough about the states that someone's going to be offended by that. I'm not sure if they're from Idaho or if they're from Spokane, but someone's going to be like, hey, wait a minute.
Especially if they're from Colville. Did I say that right this time?
You did?
Yeah.
Colville. Spelled Colville, but don't ever say that. I fucking know about it. It's like if somebody mispronounces my name, I just let it go. Not people from Colville. They will fucking let you know you mispronounced their name.
Say they've got nothing else.
Pretty
In
much.
fact, I don't think most of you guys pronounce my name right. I honestly don't care.
I definitely did not pronounce your name right.
I just don't care.
I'm your little brother. I don't think I'm supposed to pronounce your name right.
I was like, I'm married to him.
Wait,
and
does this mean
don't.
I should switch to saying Hames?
Yes.
Yes. Actually, it would be Hamey, right? That'd be Jamie.
Oh, I don't know if I could call him Hamey. Hames is one thing. Hamey is too diminutive. Could call him Hamish, though. That is the across the board.
There was a James that I was calling him as.
Of course you are.
Oh, I found a pyramid. You know where I'm going.
I have no idea.
None at all?
Where are you going?
To the pyramid.
Get me to the pyramid.
I was figuring with a large world that we probably would have one.
Wish I could just trace a line over from where
There's a ruler option.
There is.
floors were.
Hit escape.
Over.
It's easier if you watch my screen, but yeah.
Yeah, hit escape, and then the top left corner, there's 3 little tabs on the side. Ruler on. You have to stay in that menu, but I guess you don't. But yeah, the ruler on and off. I bet there's a shortcut for it.
Yeah, but I don't think I can. Like, I can't go to where you are. That's too.
Oh yeah, no, across the map, no. Just on screen.
Yeah. That is handy though. That is nice.
I don't know if the last time we played there was chests that would be triggered with explosives if you open them, but beware of those.
Sorry, what?
Like there's like gold chests and stuff. If you open them,
Yep.
they explode and you die because they're wired to all these different explosives.
The classic chests are bad trope
Yeah.
of adventure game RPGs. Have you guys watched Dungeons and Dragons?
I have not.
It is on a list.
It's okay.
I enjoyed it.
I wouldn't put it on the top of my list, but it was okay.
Yeah, I feel like okay is basically the best I expect from a movie like that. It exists to capitalize on a very specific thing. Okay is fine. It doesn't have to be more than okay. It can just be fun without having to be more than that.
This gold chest I put down, I'm just put things in that I don't care about that you guys can use as well.
How dare you not care?
I mean, it's the chest that we can share.
Deeply and personally offended.
Community chest?
Sure. Renamed it such. Not even but a piggy bank.
Ah, that's it. I like piggies. You're an owl.
Yep, it's right on top of the fire, you know.
They're fireproof. Never knew owls were fireproof.
I mean, I too would be slightly surprised if owls were fireproof. It's not a traditionally owl trait that I think of.
I don't know if I would like top golf. Like, I like mini golf, but not actual golf. Michael's saying we should eat at a place called Top Golf.
Top golf? How do you play golf and eat at the same time? Like,
My brain's been stuck on like hot dogs, where they give you like a little tray that goes on your shoulders, like a harness, and your food sits there.
I can picture this.
I just know how hard of a time I have eating and walking.
Oh man, that's a mood.
I struggle with that, so
I would say I have a hard time just walking, except for I'm afraid Murdoch will hear me and make me do more lunges, so...
So don't say that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just go ahead and just
Clip that part.
And look how close that pyramid actually is.
just tell them.
just
Jeff was
message
saying
him.
that they need to do more lunges. Say, I'm gone for 3 months. You have no ability to hurt me.
You think that.
I don't.
I just have to say one thing. Hey,
What's that?
donkey. James probably has a lot of opinions on how you can join peerage.
Luckily, that
I'm not the person who's replaced me once because I don't have a peerage.
That is fair. Nor are you overly interested in one?
No, not
what are
really.
you confused by?
What are you watching on that screen?
You.
No, I'm at the house.
Oh, for some reason.
Oh, thanks. I was like, no, that's not where I am. Okay.
Jess is looking super.
I think our fuel is the same price it was the other day when we talked about it.
I filled up today for $1.63.
Oh, where was that at?
Basically Langley area.
It's pretty decent.
I think this is one of the lower prices of gas in the province currently.
I try to fuel up as Chilliwack as often as possible for the company. I don't know if the company even cares or notices that I do that, but I try to save them money. Probably not. Probably don't notice. Because honestly, we're all instantly replaceable.
Yep.
Our job doesn't mean anything to our company. No matter who you work for, you don't really mean to them.
I mean, that's not necessarily entirely true, but usually it is. Especially any place that has more than like 3 employees.
Yeah.
And anyone that thinks, oh, they'll notice this cool thing I did for them to save them. No, they won't.
Yeah, the answer for that is almost always no.
They got no fucking idea how much you save them. Until you quit and realize that they needed 3 people to replace your job.
Yeah, that's the... If you get a lot of work done, they just assume that your job's easy. Then when it takes 3 people to replace you, they go, oh, I guess... Well, and even then, they usually seem to have the mentality then, man, these new people we hired are just so lazy, no one wants to work anymore.
Yep. Well, today, for example, because we have the drive-through, right? I'm making drinks, and my shift supervisor kept coming over, and we're in the red, we're in the red. And I'm like, it's a Saturday. It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday. They can wait. And I do understand that other people don't have a Monday to Friday, but still. It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
I am not in a hurry.
And you came in on a shift that you are filling anyway, so...
Pretty much, I was, to be honest, very just like, I'm here for 4 hours and I don't really care. I'm half asleep, so...
Ah, James is killing zombies.
Better than
At
being
least one.
killed by zombies.
I killed 50 zombies, if I combine that your kills into mine. There are zombie kills. Communist zombie slayer.
I've taken up the responsibility of digging up and digging down.
glad someone did it. I'm also glad that someone was not me.
I'm running into worms already. Small worms. You say neat?
I said neat.
Too neat to me. Better armor than wood.
So I mentioned in Milo last time, like, I should build like a museum or a gallery to showcase like all the, like, you can put all the stuff in like terrariums and paintings and all that, right? We should turn this pyramid into that.
Go ahead.
Well, we don't have anything really right now to
That's
show.
your job. Start on it. So, James, are you planning on Valheim next weekend, or is the world still too upside down?
Next weekend is probably going to be the most upside down, because
Okay.
next weekend will be me moving to Vancouver. And then after that, life should be a little bit more steady.
So you're home now. Why?
Because there's not much else I can do. Basically, right now I'm. Basically, right now the only thing I could do is like sit there and
Be bored and do nothing.
like basically sit in the same room and like while she tries to sleep, and doctors basically pester her every 20 minutes, stopping her from actually sleeping. That's realistically where we're at in that.
That sounds so much.
It sounds like a ton of fun. I agree.
Was she angry at any doctors?
She did shake her fist at one.
No single finger waves though.
No single finger waves.
I find I'm a fiercely independent person, and so is Crafting Spirit.
Yep.
I find doctors baby you, and it's like fuck
Well,
off. That's what
no,
you
this
do.
this was not that. Is so, stomach's completely cut open, all stitched out together. Well, how do you tell if everything's been stitched together very nice and well? In ultrasound. I don't know if you've ever had an ultrasound.
Oh no.
No,
But they like
painful.
really prod that in because it's got a certain depth, so you can like just really stick that in. Like so they like work it into your gut to get the image they want. Except you've just been cut open. It's not a. No, I just it doesn't seem very pleasant.
Comfortable. That doesn't seem comfortable.
So, no.
I actually will attest to that because when a certain organ of mine decided it needed to be knotted, they did the same thing, and then they were like, "Oh, stop squirming," and it's like, excuse me. I was already in a level 10. You have now put me into a 15.
Yep. Well, it's okay. It just reframes your 10. Your old 10 is now just like a 6.
Yep.
It's like that 10 I gave you 10 minutes ago. That's a 5 now.
Yeah.
I feel like the worst part of mine was that was when we weren't sure what was going on. And he, like, got after me for squirming, scolded me for something else. He was a very abrupt human. And then abruptly goes, "Oh, I have to talk to someone," and leaves. None of this reassured me. You think it'd be easier to, like, stick her in the, oh god, the spinny one.
Yeah, the big machine.
Huh.
No,
Yeah.
they're looking for very specific small detail.
Fair.
The whatever. Basically, they're looking for very small, specific details. So yeah,
That is fair. I just feel like after you've been cut open and glued back together,
Well, the whole
maybe
thing
be
is,
delicate on those goods.
this is hurting you. It's not causing damage, so it's basically just kind of tap it up. We'll just give you an epidural. Is the kind of deal that they have for that, which is understandable. Not
It's understandable. It's still a dick move.
yeah, not fun, not appreciated, but understandable. Yeah.
And there's good doctors, and then there's good. Some doctors know how to. Some doctors have people skills.
Yeah.
I will say largely my experience at Vancouver General was they had many good and good doctors as well. The
Yeah.
only one I ran into I didn't like was the ultrasound tech. Everyone else was really nice to me. But I also realized that obviously that switches up a lot because they're a teaching hospital, so
Yeah.
you're getting a whole bunch of people just coming and going there.
I mean, they have a very high, like, especially with like the transplant work, because it's a very specialization stuff. They have a very, very highly educated staff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just more in terms of, I think, general people, like, you might go in one week and be like, oh hey, I will never see this person again.
Yeah, mind you, they just also do have a ton of doctors. But with something like because so Vancouver General Hospital is the only place in, well, Edmonton and Vancouver, one of the hospitals in Edmonton and Vancouver General are the only places in Western Canada to get pancreas transplants.
Aren't you glad you don't have to move to Edmonton?
Yeah, yes I am.
Well, it's on fire right now, so you don't want to.
So how long do you live in Vancouver now?
Hey, Iron Center.
Yeah, a long time no see.
Sorry, James, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, you said 3 months?
3 months, yep. And yeah, so the place that we are going to be staying in for the first 2 months is a 20-minute walk from the hospital. So via car, it's really close by.
Did you get a hold of relatives?
Yes, but that's not where we're staying.
Fair.
Oh, okay.
They have kidney apartments.
Oh good, you got in there.
Yes.
I know that was kind of a... like,
Isn't that a
maybe?
limited space thing? Yeah.
I mean, we get it for 2 months and then that's it. After that, go figure out your own deal because someone else needs the room.
I mean, even 2 months is better than nothing.
Honestly, 1 month was really, I'm like, if we can just have this for a month, that'd be great. Because the first month is the brutal one. Yeah,
What's special about the ward that
it just basically cheap accommodation close by.
location really?
Yeah, the
What?
fact that because you have to go to the hospital a lot after a transplant.
If I remember correctly, it has like no stairs or anything, right? It's just level, so you don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Okay.
I mean, my understanding was Crafting Spirit's not really getting out of bed for like a month.
I mean, she's been out of bed already.
Well, yeah, but is that Crafting Spirit's choice or the hospital pushing her out of bed? Because I've met Crafting Spirit and I love her greatly.
I mean, that is if you want to recover, you're going to get out of bed and move.
Yeah, that is a big nurse thing. I will... Oh, man. Nurses believe in you moving. It is actually really good for you. It does not mean you have to like it.
But it would be helpful if you told the nurse that you were moving.
I think that was more my question.
I forgot that step. When
Oh,
I
man.
had my appendix taken out, and they're like, "Go for walks, do stuff." Well, I was at the time part of the fire department and worked with all the ambulance people. I was an EMR too. So guess where I walked to?
You just
I
want to
had-
wander.
I have friends in the ambulance garage, which is it's not in the hospital, but it's just outside of the hospital, like next to the hospital, the separate buildings next to the hospital. So I went in there and hung out with people I knew and jumped on the computer.
You
and
have
played
freaked
games,
out so many nurses.
and there's nobody in that room, and Juan's missing. Well, he went for a walk. You told him to go for a walk, so he went for a fucking walk.
So my mom had a patient. I think this is when she was working general medical floor, and he just left. He just left, and they were like, "Oh gosh, where is he? Like, we don't know where he is. We can't find him." They're searching the whole hospital for him. They called the police.
Missing person.
Missing person. They don't know where he is, right?
Yeah.
And he showed up 3 hours later with a box of chocolate and a couple bottles of wine for the nurses. He'd taken off on his scooter. He'd gone down and like had a day. But yeah, last time I was in hospital, it was the most confusing thing for me because my mom was a nurse. That's my expectation. You have surgery and then you get up as soon as possible and you move, right? To the limited ability that like obviously not hurting yourself. And Penticton put these like blood pressure things on my legs, and I wasn't sure how to take them off, so I had to keep buzzing the nurse, and I felt terrible because I didn't want to bug them. They were all very nice about it, but I was like, I'm afraid to detach these.
For me, I'm tall enough of a person that they didn't think about the IV.
Oh no.
So I get up and start walking around. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, the IV's starting to fill up with blood. Blood's going the wrong way. Isn't the IV supposed to be going into me and not me filling it up with blood? Got the flow the wrong direction here, people.
I will be perfectly honest. Whenever I'm discharged from a hospital, I want to leave. I do not enjoy staying in the hospital longer than necessary. I appreciate all the lovely people that work there, but I don't want to be there. And I'm really bad when they take the IVs out for holding like the cotton ball there long enough for it to clot properly. My brother has yelled at me. Me, it's just a little bit of blood. I'm not really worried about it, but my brother has definitely freaked out and gotten after me.
Yeah, I basically, I hold it there, and the moment they turn away, I pull it away.
Yeah.
Right?
Here's the thing, it never bleeds.
Mine slightly bleeds, but
Oh,
I'm
I bleed like a stuck pig.
Mine doesn't bleed at all. They basically have a hard time getting the blood out of me to begin with.
I wonder if it's the genetic thing because I'm similar. So
I basically just tell them, like, so you know the what the heck's it called, the band they put around your arm.
Yeah.
Oh, the rubber band
Tourniquet.
thing.
The tourniquet. Yeah, that. I basically just tell them to keep that on my arm. 'Cause that's the only way you're getting all the blood out of me in one go. I have to basically like pump my fist like it's like a hydraulic tool or something. If I want to keep any amount of blood flow going, if they remove the tourniquet. I do not bleed efficiently.
I guess that's a good problem to have in some senses, but it sucks when they have to poke you 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had someone that they took my, basically they started draining my blood, and it just stopped. And they're like trying to kind of frantically get it going again while also not showing the fact that they're like mildly panicking, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let you do your thing. And they just ended up being like, I'm just gonna have to do a new hole, and I'm like, yep, do what you gotta do. I did also one of the times I'm there and the person's like, we have a new student to teach. Do you mind if like we let them take your blood? I'm like, yeah, go for it. And 4 needles in, he still hasn't managed to draw any blood out. And at this point, his hands are shaking, and he's like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. And I'm like, okay, like if you don't like, and the nurse at that point was like, okay, yeah, like, or not nurse, there's a different title they have, the person who draws blood. That's a very specific job.
Phlebotomist?
Yes, that's the one. Such a wonderful name for.
Pulled, right? I pulled that out of my bag of tricks there.
But anyway, I basically went. But honestly, I'm gonna sit here and be patient, and you can continue to poke my veins full of holes. Your hands are shaking. I'm not complaining, so keep sticking. Like I'm a very patient patient.
Very patient.
See, I feel like I have the opposite problem where I do bleed.
Yeah.
But I'm impatient, so like my brother came to pick me up when I was in Vancouver General with Crafting Spirit. And you know, they take the IV out and they're like, okay, hold this for like a couple minutes or whatever, and I just wanted to get changed into my clothes and I wanted to leave. I did not want to be there anymore. So the minute they turned around, take it off, and I'm like in the bathroom and I'm like, oh, I'm bleeding a bit, and I come out and like there is blood all over my arm. And my brother started freaking out, and I was like, dude, it's fine, it's barely anything. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely got yelled at by him, not by the nurses, to clarify.
Yeah. No, I'm in the lucky position where I just don't have to worry about it. They literally just don't matter. But yeah, like basically, it's funny. I've been in the hospital more now than I've ever been. Like in the last 6 months, I've been in the hospital more than I have ever been prior. And all of it is just testing as a perfectly healthy adult. It's all just been testing to basically see what my health level is and what my kidney function really is at. And as it turns out, it's really good. I'm just not useful to anyone.
So I will say, clarifying this as a patient, because my mom was a nurse, I visited the hospital a lot, just hanging out waiting for her to get off work. But I think, like, I got a sewing needle in my foot when I was 4 or 5. I had surgery on that. Between that time and when I was about 20 and I got a concussion, I wasn't actually in the hospital, and they made a point of mentioning that. They were like, oh, it has been a time, and I'm like, yes. When you have nurses as parents, there are some things they don't worry about. Most things, honestly.
Yeah, really the only time I've had an actual hospital stay was when I broke my collarbone.
Appendix for me.
I think mine was pneumonia. I'm trying to remember that far back. It was like 7.
Oh, did you break your foot before or after appendix?
Well, okay.
You know, you didn't really
I
have to
guess-
stay in the hospital for your bone because they just set it and you moved on with life.
I got the cast. Yeah, that
Like
was.
that was just a day procedure. You didn't really stay in the hospital.
I think that was after the appendix,
I think so too.
and that was literally you go in, get a cast, and then you're back out again.
Yeah.
No, not even overnight or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit different with my collarbone because of the fact that they are cutting it up and put plates in. They have you stay overnight.
I have had 3 surgeries, and 2 were for the same thing, and I really hope that never happens again.
Yep. Understandable.
Only because each time it was an emergency surgery and not just like, haha, we can schedule this and you'll show up.
Yes.
One thing that bothers me about surgeries is the doctors come in and go, sign this out paperwork over here so that we won't hold them liable for.
Yeah.
You might die from this, getting your appendix or whatever. It's just like, whatever the fuck you want to do, just cut it all out. It's like,
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is, because my surgeries involve my ovary, they, like, over the top explain that they will do what they can.
yeah,
They're like, we will try and save it, we'll try and save it, and I'm like, I don't care.
just cut it
My
all out.
pain level is a 10, and this thing's problematic, please take it away.
Yep, it's like, cut it all out. I don't want it anymore.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You saving it is less important than you removing it.
And that is
It
actually
needs
the
to stop.
conversation I had the second time around with the surgeon. I was like, I don't care. There's lots of ways to have babies. I'm not worried about this. I'm not really worried about having babies, but I know that that is your concern. Because some people really care about it.
And some people will get the procedure and then go, I didn't understand.
Also that.
Having said that, I would get any procedure, not understand. I just don't care. I'm in enough pain. I don't care. I will sign anything.
Yeah.
You want to sell my other kidneys to on the black market? Sure. Or are you going to cut the other? What can you do for me?
I feel like having worked customer service, the I didn't understand or I wasn't listening is so relatable.
Yeah. You know, at first I'm like, the Finch is really cute, but honestly pretty useless. But no, that Finch is actually really good.
Isn't it? I enjoy
Like,
it.
I'm just like sitting here digging, and by the time that like the zombies die before they actually get to me. They get close, but they don't actually make it to me.
I wouldn't know. I've never seen that yet.
Something something. Thanks, Freya?
Yeah, you guys in the U.S. treat hospitals a little differently than the rest of the world.
I mean, I feel like I still kind of have I have a bit of a, like, almost American viewpoint on hospitals. I just don't want to go, because I always go, it's going to cost money, even though I know it doesn't actually cost me money.
For me, it's I don't want to use the resources. If I don't think it's serious enough, that somebody else could have that spot and that doctor.
Yeah.
That's where I get stuck, is I really get into the mentality of I don't want to bother the nurses because I know they're busy and stuff like that. And like I've actively had a nurse chew me out because she's like, you are not bothering me. Ask me for pain meds. She ended up charting in my room just to keep an eye on me. Which was probably more annoying than anything for her.
There's definitely, I don't, at any level, ever want to get the, sort of invasive surgery that Crafting Spirit has gone under. But I would be really curious as to how I would handle it pain-wise. Just because I have a tendency to really not use pain meds.
Is that a gene thing too? Because
It might be, because I think that is pretty cross-family for us. Because you really don't use pain meds.
I blew the doctor's minds and nurses' minds when I had my appendix taken out. Like, they couldn't believe what I was doing.
But I mean, like, not that well, that's not true. I have had an organ removed. Had one placed. But, like, for me, once the surgery was done, they gave me pain meds, but I didn't really need them because the initial source of pain was gone, and what was left over was, like, a twinge now than then if I move too quick. I can handle a twinge.
I think they're just so used to that people want more painkiller, please, more painkiller, right? Because my appendix, well, first off, they had some pretty beefy nurses come to move me from the surgery to the, whatever the moving bed is, to my bed.
Oh yeah, from the gurney.
From the gurney. I literally got out of the gurney and got into my own bed while I'm still completely under the influence of all the painkillers.
I don't
like-
I don't remember moving from the gurney back to the bed. Like,
I definitely woke up in the bed.
They're like, oh, we don't need those nurses. Okay. I guess this patient won't be a problem. But then the doctor goes, here's some T3s. We're going to top up on your morphine a little later on. Use these T3s once you need them for your pain. And then we'll come back with the morphine a little later on. I never used the T3s. And then later on, he came back for the morphine. I'm like, I don't need the morphine. Look, T3s are still here. He goes, I had to argue with him. It's like, no, literally, I do not need the morphine. I haven't taken the freeze yet, so no, I don't need the morphine. So fuck off.
For me, when I had my collarbone replaced, basically the surgery after, I was under some pretty heavy painkillers still from the surgery because they give you all the whatever painkillers they feel like you need when they have you out. But they basically like the nurse comes and gives me a bunch of pills, and I'm like, what are these for? And so she explains like this one's for this sort of pain, this one's for this sort of pain. I'm like, okay, see, this is all just pain. And I'm like, do I have to take them? Like, is this something I should be taking? And she just looks at me. She's like, you're going to want to. And I'm like, okay. And then she goes, you know, just when you feel like it, go ahead and take them. I'll just leave them here. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then like 3 hours later, she just comes by and takes them away.
Yeah, I'll take those from you.
Yeah, because it's just no, I didn't need them.
It's funny too because like my first emergency surgery, it happened so fast they actually never did give me painkillers before the surgery, which was horrendous. Like it was several hours of me just being like, I am slowly dying, please save me. The second one, because I went into the emerge and then basically went home and then had to call an ambulance and go back that night. They gave me painkillers that entire day, and I had the surgery the next day. And it turns out that I get sick as a dog. I get nauseous as all get out. And there's honestly nothing worse than having your gut cut open and then dry heaving.
Well,
Do not
that's
recommend.
crafting spirits. Right after surgery, basically threw up twice.
Yeah.
Because of the pain meds.
Oh, that would be so much worse for crafting spirit. Because, like, I had the micro incisions, and I wanted to die. Oh no, poor crafting spirit.
Luckily, she has not had to throw up since.
Any throwing up now after being off of all the morphine. Oh man, that would be so painful.
Well, at this point, she's still on an epidural, which I think is how this is survivable.
Yeah. You don't. Yeah, I have no doubts that any of us would be asking for painkillers with that.
Yeah, well, for that sort of surgery, I'm like, the curiosity part of me is like, I'd like to know. I don't want this to ever happen to me, so I don't actually want to find out.
No.
But I would be curious.
Iron Thunder says asthma's the last time he's been in the hospital.
Yeah.
Just you the same reason, right?
It was like asthma / pneumonia.
Pneumonia, alright. Right, pneumonia.
Pneumonia sucks.
It was on my birthday, around my birthday, and it sucked.
That is a sucky birthday gift.
And then, like, I couldn't have dairy, obviously, to mess with the antibiotics or whatever, and the janitor thought he was being nice, and he brought me a cake, and then I couldn't eat the cake. And ice cream, and my siblings ended up eating it, and I was really sad about that more than anything. Yeah.
That sounds like siblings.
Pretty much, right? I remember my dad, though. Like, I wasn't there when my dad got his kidney removed, but I know that was absolutely horrible for him to go through, so I can only imagine what crafting spirits going through.
Yeah, crafting spirit. And paint? Yeah. 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 I'm like, wait, am I supposed to say this? I'm like, wait, James has said it, man. Okay,
James has said it.
Yeah, it's like,
I wouldn't be talking about it otherwise.
I'm allowed to say these things out loud because James has already said them.
I know, I actually reached out to Crafting Spirit before the surgery because I was talking to somebody we know who Crafting Spirit's not necessarily super close with. And they were kind of like asking why we weren't away for the weekend, and I was like, I have said that plans have changed. I don't want to say more.
Yeah.
Crafting Spirit said it was fine, so I was like, okay, this is what's going down, because they do know Crafting Spirit's situation. But, like, I'm like, you're not super close, and You know.
I think crafting spirit's a fiercely independent person too, right? Just
Well,
like
that's the thing is a
and
lot of
it's
this
like-
has been very quiet, so I'm like,
Why-
I want to check.
why you keep something like that secret or private is because you don't want everybody goo gaga, oh my god, you're like gonna die type of thing. It's like just let me live my life, right?
Yeah.
It's like let me be independent. That's why you don't want to tell anyone. Now that the surgery's done, it's a little different. There will still be some people though that do the whole.
Yeah, and that's the thing. She's
like
going to really appreciate it when people are just like, "Oh wow," and then move on,
Yes, just
rather than,
Yeah.
"I need to talk a lot about what happened with you." And it's like, no, you
and,
don't.
and the thing is, crafting spirit, like every now and then we'll want to talk about it, but
Yeah.
let that person bring it up when they're ready to bring it up.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
Yeah.
force people into conversations they don't want to have. Let them,
Because-
let them come to conversations.
Because surgery's interesting. It's like, oh, how was this? How was that? Yeah, but I don't want to talk about that shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, I'm Crafting Spirit's friend, and I have been walking a line of like, I want to baby you, but also I want to nag you. I'm gonna avoid both of these.
Well, the thing is, how do you show someone you care without babying and nagging someone, right? It's like,
So,
I just care.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm really looking forward to the first month of her being utterly dependent on me.
Yeah, that sounds like
That's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting.
I'm just saying, watch
Yeah,
out for
that's-
payback, man.
you're in for a hell of a torturous.
It's going to be a month.
Am I hearing that I should come hang out with Doom and like bring bubble tea over? Bubble tea and alcohol, one for each of you. We all know where the bubble tea's going.
I definitely caught a little bit of attitude from Doom. I may have not told them that I bought alcohol for them and just brought alcohol into their place and left it.
Oh,
So they've made it very clear that I don't owe them anything.
Yeah, they
There.
take my coffee. I don't know.
More so, after the last time that I gave them booze, they're like, "Yeah, I think you're squared up for the year."
Now you're squared up for like 2 years. You're golden.
I just really appreciate where it's like, "Oh hey, I may have to just randomly crash in Vancouver at like really last minute notice," and they're like, "Done."
come on in. Yeah.
Yeah, that takes a lot of the stress off of my back. Of, okay, number one, get crashing spirits to the hospital. Number two, where am I going now?
Yeah. That at least that's gone then. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
I have a place to stay. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I also feel like it really helps that you are a very low-key guest.
Yeah. Well, I arrived and definitely Doom's like, so you can have the same same bedroom as last time. He's like, we didn't actually really even do the sheets because we just kind of had a suspicion you might be the next people using it anyway. I'm like, that's fair. That is very fair.
I love that.
I have told them though that we need to stop doing this back to back because both times we've gone down to Vancouver in a rush. It was the week after staying at their place already anyway. And I'm like, we need to stop doing this.
Yes, I mean, it would have been mildly more convenient to have had this happen when we were down there.
It would have been a bit more convenient.
Wouldn't have been inconvenient to my workplace, but I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
Well, like, at least you weren't up in Prince George or something, right? And then
that was like, you
Those
know,
were a
what,
lot of jokes.
I had some frustrations to vent after basically crashing spirits on the phone, getting the call, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I have literally, like, it has been like 4 hours since I finally started committing to this because I go, okay, it looks like this weekend's actually happening.
Yeah.
And she's
Would
like,
you
I
like
can
to
call
hear
him
a
back.
funny
I can
secret?
cancel it. And I'm like, no, you cannot. We are doing this. I'm frustrated, but we're not canceling this. Like, this is more important, and this will always be more important. What's this? Whatever secret?
So the funny part of that is I had not yet started packing when you messaged me. And
Yeah,
I had
that's fair.
been yelling at myself for an hour and a half, but getting stuck on YouTube rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was finally like, okay, you need to pack, you need to go to bed. And then I got a
Yeah.
message and I'm like, okay then.
Problem solved. Woo!
And I was like, now I need to kind of unpack because my bag was still half packed from last week because I overpacked.
Yeah.
But that's a smaller problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the middle of packing, and I'm like, I need to change how I'm packing. That's all that needs to change, is what I'm prioritizing here needs to change.
So,
Everything else is pretty much the same.
as far as your anxiety goes, you're feeling much better now?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the stress levels of that shit isn't easy for you either.
Well, for me is, this takes away a lot of the long-term stress of, I don't have a job. How long can we do this before I go, well, now suddenly having 3 months where I absolutely can't get a job becomes a problem.
Can you not get a part-time job there right now?
I mean, I can't because the first month I'm there,
Yeah.
I'm not leaving craft.
You're just a caretaker.
I am just a caretaker. But after a month, then we'll probably start looking at that again and go,
Just
okay.
like oil change place, something, right?
So I do plan on, at some point in there, get a very simple, preferably like part-time job or something like that. Nothing big. Doesn't like, I don't need it to be paying a lot. I just literally, like, and the whole thing is like, if it basically just goes, no, I this doesn't work out. Crafting Spirit needs someone like every day for longer than this. That's fine. We can make that work. Basically, we can survive. We can survive a full 3 months of
No work,
no
no
income.
income.
Without going, this is now a problem. Does mean I will want to get a good job when I come back to kind of refill the.
Basically, any savings you had planned for buying an RV or whatever is gone.
Yeah, my savings is pretty thoroughly ruined by the end of this, but we're surviving.
Almost seems like life is not more important than
Well, that's
an
all
RV.
like yeah, I don't like basically for me right now is by the end of this, my safety buffer is going to be very small, and I don't like that. Also, I can live with that.
You could also withdraw some money from Lee's as well.
Yeah. But that means I'd have to go for a trip.
Yes, but it would be an option.
Yeah.
Not in the next 3 months, but after.
Yeah. Yeah, and I could use that, I guess, to basically once done. I'll basically once Crafting Spirit doesn't require attention constantly, go for flight down, come back, and then basically my safety net would be right back up. Because that would be enough. That is like, yep, that's enough of a safety net. So, I don't suspect I'm going to do that, but it is something that could be done. Something to keep in mind. This tunnel is longer than I expected it to be.
Can imagine in the U.S. though,
Uh,
like you literally have to decide. Like you have to.
And so also one of the things in the U.S. you can sell your kidney. So if you need a kidney, you can buy someone's kidney. So how much is it worth to be able to go? Yeah, I've secured a kidney. It just cost me $40,000.
Yeah.
In Canada, you cannot sell a kidney. There are systems to try to reimburse you for your costs incurred while you're donating a kidney, but you can't actually get paid for the kidney.
Which is must be weird for Americans.
It's my organ. I got a right to sell it.
You saying it's your body, your choice?
Freedom.
Yes, but I am also male. There's, you gotta read the fine print. There's terms and conditions. That's what I'm all about, putting the dumb back in freedom. And it's like, I really do appreciate freedom, but when your freedoms sound a lot like, well, less like freedoms and more like oppression of someone else.
Yeah, freedom for me, but not freedom for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my entire thing. I'm like, freedom should be freedom for everyone, not just freedom for people who are me-shaped.
It's a lot of water. Do with this much water. You can have an organ for $50,000. Is that the going rate for organs?
Yeah, you can have one Oregon.
Oregon. Okay.
Probably has something related, something to do with the Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail.
There's actually a game called Oregon Trail. I think it's a zombie survival game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a clever name.
Yeah. But yeah, like you can buy kidneys in the U.S., which I like. I don't have a problem with the like. All right, you want to sell your kidney? You know, I don't have a problem with that. But it opens up a lot of doors that are not
Well,
good.
corruption and worse.
Yeah. There can be some pretty unpleasant.
Human trafficking.
Yeah.
Organ trafficking.
In the world in which human trafficking doesn't exist, I don't have a problem with organs being bought and sold. But yeah, when people can basically force someone else to give up their organ, I'm like, yeah, this stuff gets really shady. So that's one thing I found very interesting. So as Crafting Spirit's husband, when I was discussing basically the process of me donating a kidney, Crafting Spirit couldn't be in the room.
Crafting spirits cannot have any influence on your decision.
Yes, that was the... She is not allowed to know what I said in privacy about my decision to donate. And I was basically told, just flat out, point blank, if I decide to not go through with this, this will be recorded as a, my kidney does not match. My kidney can't be, basically my kidney is not suitable.
So Crafting Spirit wouldn't even know.
No, I could basically say no, and Crafting Spirit would be told that my
kidney is not a match.
Is just not viable.
Huh.
Basically, it just can't be used.
That's interesting.
So if I go, no, I don't want to, So basically, the way they consider it is your willingness to give up a kidney is a key component of a kidney's.
Hey, Innovations, how's it going? I noticed you haven't friends requested me yet, so you've got till tomorrow morning to do that, or else the giveaway's going to someone else. Fair warning. So that's interesting how the Canadian system keeps you as a donor completely protected.
Yeah, the Canadian system is like, no, you are not allowed to. Yeah, basically, you're not allowed to coerce someone into giving an organ.
That's cool. I think I'm a fan of that.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I
also would be a fan of knowing who gave me a kidney so I could thank the person, but I could see how that would lead to the same system the US has.
Well, I mean, so with a, like, in the case like this, Crafting Spirit would have known who donated the kidney, but simply because.
All right, Innovations, but remember you can try winning that again next time as well, but thanks for the heads up, appreciate it. Lost all friends, Iron Thunder.
Talking about Duolingo.
Duolingo? Oh, you got back into Duolingo and saw that your account had been reset. Well, that sucks. Yeah. I've learned a lot more about organs thanks to Crafting Spirits, so
This is
a
definitely
learning
something,
experience for me too.
something I didn't know anything about prior, that's for sure.
I'm sure Chep probably knew more about it, having, a nurse as family member, but
I mean, I feel
Bits
like
and pieces.
it's definitely a very specific thing, so.
Mostly that my parents either worked on pipelines, like my dad was a nurse on the pipelines, so a little less of that, and when he was in the army as a nurse, very different.
yeah.
And then my mom worked neurological community health, like Matt Guiney, so not so much of that, more after.
Well, and that's like you'd be more familiar with the way the hospitals work, the way that like um, general procedures work. But
Yeah.
like that's one thing that I find kind of weird. Just almost everyone in the kidney ward, like this is the only thing they do. Like the person who
You
installed
specialize in that, and that's all you do.
installed the new pancreas, that's his job. He literally came in, did the pancreas, and then walked back out. Like, no other part of the procedure did he have anything to do with. It was just like, oh, pancreas needs to be installed, walks up, installs the pancreas, walks back out. That's his job.
Well, he has to cut it out of the person that died first.
Yep, the donor. A lot of euphemisms.
They try to
very
be
carefully.
they try to be how would you say that?
People are really sensitive to
Yeah,
death.
they try to be sensitive. The terms they use, they try to be very sensitive. Just like funeral homes, they're very sensitive in the words you use, because people are not morbid like we are.
Yeah. Apparently people are not weird like us. And
I think it's probably just a difference of like upbringing.
Yeah, cultural differences.
Because you two grew up on a farm. Death is just a thing.
Death is a part of
I grew up not a little bit on a farm, but also like nursing parents and parents who'd been in the army. Death is a thing. So you get a lot less of that than somebody who's maybe their parents are accountants,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that.
People
because
that don't even know where food comes from, type of.
well,
Yeah.
and the people it's like, yeah, so Fluffy went to a farm.
Yeah.
Not
And I think
well,
that's a
Fluffy
big
died.
part of it is how people handle stuff like that as, you know, parents.
Yeah.
Because my opinion, I think you can totally explain to children that things die,
Yeah.
and there's going to be grief. There's always grief. Like, I cry every time one of my dogs finally reaches the point
Yeah.
where, you know, they have to go, and it's heartbreaking for me. And you know, and like I've had parents and other relatives die, and like, you know, you'd think that'd be lesser, but it's not. But if you talk about it, turns out it's not so scary.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a thing. We know it happens. It's not as scary if
Yeah.
just talking about it and going. Yeah.
Like, obviously making it age appropriate, like you don't get into the deep dive of death with like a 2-year-old. But there's very simple ways to just be like, okay, well, you know, this happens and it sucks.
Yep. Can't avoid death.
But this is
What
only
did I
my
say?
theory on why maybe we as a group are a little more like,
Yeah.
things happen and we're a little more relaxed about it just because upbringing and, you know.
Yeah. Just because you can say words like we're actually talking about death doesn't mean we're not sensitive to death, right? It's like when our friends die, we're still gonna be sad.
Oh, yeah.
You're still, yeah. Well, I was at a celebration of life today morning. That's why there was no stream today morning, because somebody died.
Wait, whose celebration of life?
Iron Bowl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Iron Bowl.
Yep.
Basically, Ghost Bear's dad.
Yeah.
It's like it's part of life, right? So we actually had fun at the celebration of life.
I actually super appreciate Celebration of Lives as a way to handle things.
There's just a bunch of people getting together, having coffee, and talking to each other, and
Yeah.
not everybody in mourning and stuff like that, right? Because he passed away several months ago, right? So having a celebration of life after the family got to mourn, I think is a good idea.
Yeah, I do feel like that's a much better way to do it.
Because that way the family is already getting used to the new life, right?
I mean, I will definitely say for my father's, it was actually held pretty quickly. But this is gonna sound horrible because I was definitely grieving. There were some really funny moments. And like one of them for me was that my mom had written this whole like speech, and she had it planned out where she was gonna say some stuff, and then she wanted them to play some music my dad really liked because my dad was super into music, and then she'd say something more and more music, and it would like go back and forth like that. And my uncle decided she would be too upset to speak, so he took over the speech for her. And then the sound system and my uncle couldn't get it together, and the sound system was like this. It was in our church, so it was a very elderly person in the back, like trying to use the sound system. And my uncle's like booming out and just talking over the music. But there was this moment where he kind of stopped to take a breath, and the sound system finally worked. And they were playing a Newfoundland drinking song at the time, so like all you hear is 3 cans of beer a day, and that's the bloody lot. Like in this dead silence, and I just died, and I started laughing. And it was a very perfect moment for me because my dad was kind of a trickster, and that just felt like a
Felt
big
right,
connection.
yeah. That's healthy though, that you can laugh about something.
It also didn't help that my younger brother was sitting next to me and like elbowing me really hard in the ribs and telling me to shut up because I was supposed to be sad. And like I kind of just reached hysterical at that point. I was just dying.
Well, and it's one of the things that gets me is where it's like, oh, you're grieving, you should be sad. And it's like, grief is not sadness. Grief is basically an elevation of your emotions, really.
Grief is
across
a
the
lot of
board.
things. I tend towards rage.
Yeah.
Rage is very much my default setting. I'm very aware of it. I keep a very tight leash on that.
I definitely get mad easy when I'm grieving.
Yeah. And it's never anyone's fault. It's just I am that much closer to everything at that moment, and that's where my default ends up. But
when I'm grieving, I get really mad at the people who died usually.
oh yeah,
And
that is very legit.
Yeah, it's kind of like a "how dare you leave" type of thing, right?
yeah,
I mean, in the case of my dad, because it was very abrupt, I spent a week or two desperately wishing it was a joke, because that is, you know, the disbelief. That's kind of first stop train. Even though even then I knew if it had been a joke, I would have never forgiven him. Like, flat out. But you wanted it to be so that you could be mad at him. But like, you know, and then yeah, from then on I was literally just mad at everything. A very angry kid it's for a couple of years.
yeah. No, for me, it usually just comes down to it's the basically the fact that when people leave, it's a case of how dare they, basically, because everyone always leaves something undone.
But you didn't finish this.
My brain's getting really stuck at the I decided to like you and you fucked off, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Which is not quite right, but kind of along that lines.
And that's the last one where I had a friend died. There was a lot of basically the family that they left behind. Where I'm like, how dare you leave your family? And that's the only, like, the rage doesn't have to make sense, because it's not rational rage.
No, it's yeah. You get mad at some really stupid shit.
So how are you guys enjoying the live stream?
Right?
Very upbeat live stream,
Are we
isn't it?
great?
Very happy.
You weren't crying before you came on.
Which Acervate or Acervate asked if FS23 is released, which it is. I just don't think anyone of us is playing it, because it's out on
FS23 is mobile.
and Switch.
Oh yes, but Switch is mobile.
No, it's not. Screw you.
Switch is mobile device.
No, it's a. I mean, everything's mobile if you move it far enough.
The
Speaking
thing
of-
that has surprised everybody that the fact that there is no FS24 out yet. That's the thing that is different from anything Farming Sim has ever done before. By now, there should be all this news about FS24. That has not happened, and probably won't happen,
Do we know why?
because look how good the game's gotten graphics.
Yeah.
If they make the game better, how many computers can play that game?
That is fair.
What is there to do to upgrade the game to make it better? So they've focused on DLCs instead of new game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I prefer that because I'm not buying the DLCs. I enjoy the game as it is, but don't make me buy FS24 if you're not going to do any major improvements.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
this is just FS23 slightly updated. Okay, I have to pay $60 now for the new version.
Yeah.
By the way, Jess, thanks for appreciating my my level of effort into the "We Are Farmers" joke that Juan just blew off by saying he was a truck driver. The second I saw that, I was like, Juan.
I actually enjoyed it. And the We Are Farmers jingle is actually in the insurance. There's a farmer's insurance in the U.S. It's the same jingle.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It's the farmer's insurance.
State Farm is there.
State Farm. Right, We Are Farmers, yeah. Type of jingle. It's like, huh. Okay, that's pretty funny. I did appreciate it. Maybe didn't come across that.
Oh no, I assumed you were being your usual smartass self.
So if somebody wants this weapon, I'm putting it inside the chest. It's at 18. It's kind of slow, but it's a weapon.
What is the weapon?
A flaming mace.
I have a superior mace.
Did you make yours a flaming one?
I was afraid if I turn it into a flaming one, it's going to lose its superiority
Oh, I don't know if it will.
and actually decrease
Don't know.
that power. It's like I can upgrade it to it's 20 melee damage. If I upgrade it, it would go down to 18. Why the fuck would I upgrade it? I mean, maybe it'll still be 20, but the luck probably won't be with me. So yes, there are some good weapons in that chest.
By the way, I made some good money off these rabbits and the squirrels.
Oh, you went catching squirrels?
Bunny stew. 2 of them.
Oh, you sell the bunny stew.
Yes. So 2 of them is like 45 silver.
I'm just like, I don't need to make bunny stew, but you can sell it.
Yeah, same with the squirrels. That's how you get money.
Michael considers the Switch as a mobile device.
Well, luckily I don't consider what Michael considers things when I decide what they are.
I mean, James doesn't consider Texas, or no, America a country, so.
So, is Mexico a country?
I've heard how these debates
I don't
work,
know.
and I'm bowing out.
I don't know enough about Mexico to know if it's a country. Is Canada a country?
What is Mexico's name?
Mexico.
No, it's not.
I don't know what Mexican's name is.
Mexico is not Mexico's name, and it's not even in Mexico's name. Do you know what the first word? So there's 3 words that make up the name of Mexico. It's a 3-word country name. The first word in Mexico's name is United. Do you know the last word is? It's States.
States.
United States.
United States. It is Mexico's real name is United Mexican States.
Huh.
So is Mexico a country?
No.
Not according to your logic.
It's just it is a bunch of countries united because a state is a country.
Yep.
So I would say the U.S. is a country, but it's many small countries that are united.
But then is a city-state considered a country?
I mean, it is
Self-governing, so
it is self-governed, but I think there's a certain size required, and states are big enough to be countries. Cities are not. That's why they're called city-states. It's a lesser state.
Yeah. Just due to Pluto and city-states, what you're gonna do.
See, I don't know
You're
ground
too
level.
small to be a planet.
Neil.
No, Pluto's not too small to be a planet. We just don't want to acknowledge that our solar system has thousands of planets.
Yeah, Neil got it all wrong. It's like Pluto is a planet, but so are all those other planets.
Well, it's the
The
problem
other-
is there's things in the asteroid belt beyond Pluto that are bigger than Pluto, and they're like,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah, basically, ooh, we found there's a lot of things that are circling around Earth that could be considered planets, so either everything is a planet or Pluto is not a planet, so...
The whole thing, though, is what is Pluto if Pluto's not a planet?
Ice rock.
No,
It's still a
dwarf planet.
it's a dwarf planet. Yeah.
So Pluto's still a planet.
Yeah, it's just a dwarf
It's just
planet.
not one of the major planets.
That's probably how they should have
Sold it.
approached it better. Yeah, that would have been a better way of selling it.
Basically, there are too many dwarf planets to categorize. Some of the dwarf planets don't have names. But I like Pluto. Pluto's a planet. It's just a dwarf planet. And the United States isn't a country because it is 50 countries.
That's a bunch of dwarf countries.
It's a bunch of dwarf countries.
But if you
You're
look,
dwarves.
like, Luxembourg is a country.
So,
It's smaller than the smallest state. Actually.
if the United States is a country, then the EU would be a country.
Exactly.
Because the EU is European Union, just like the United States is a union, right? It's a union. So if the United States is a country, the EU is a country, and all the countries inside the EU are states of that country.
And I've actually even heard someone basically argue that Canada isn't a country. It's 10 other countries and some territories tagged on for good measure.
We just use a different naming technique.
Well, mostly basically is that every province is really, it is
Independent.
different.
Yeah.
They're not really independent, but they are, like, we have a much stronger federal government. But every province is very different than,
And we talk about secession and all that too.
so there is a not invalid argument of Canada's not a country.
Yes, Iron Thunder, that was pretty spectacular. That was pretty awesome.
I assume you're talking about the SpaceX launch?
Yes. Enjoyed that very much. I love how the news right away went. The failure of, it's like, fuck you, that's such a success. As much as we like hating on Elon, SpaceX is doing pretty damn good. Elon or no Elon. That was the biggest rocket that has ever been launched from the planet Earth. Ever. Biggest success of a rocket. First rocket launch ever. Some things went wrong, like when they hit the self-destruct button, it didn't self-destruct. That's a problem.
No, it seems fine.
That's something that they have to work on. That seems to be pretty important. I would actually, personally, I would say that's the biggest failure on that. But the true failure would have been if it had blown up the launch pad, if it wouldn't have cleared the launch pad. That would have been a failure. But they cleared the launch pad. A couple of those engines didn't light up, and I think Elon has one thing really right about the way he approaches that rocket. He built everything to its minimum standards. Unlike NASA, where he spent billions of dollars on something, he spent everything, what is the least we think we could get away with? And built it that way. And now you look what failed, and then you make those things stronger instead of making everything so strong and overkill something, right? Overbuild it. My opinion.
I mean, I feel like that's how we design cars. That's how we design a lot of things, where it's like you're trying to build it as cheap as possible. So
Yeah.
build for. So it's a case of what are you trying to accomplish? If you're trying to make something that's over-engineered and will succeed no matter what, you over-engineer it. NASA's got the right idea there.
Yep.
You want to make space travel something actually feasible for human beings to do. then you make it cheap.
Well, people were complaining that he didn't put a water deluge system on the launch pad. And that was one of the failures. The launch pad the foundation kind of got fucked up. But if you want to land a spaceship on a different planet, that planet's not going to have a launch pad.
Yeah, you
So
can land it.
let's try building it without a launch pad and see how we do. Obviously, it didn't work out. But how do you know until you try? So I think SpaceX is doing everything right. At least their basic concept, everything right. And maybe my opinion's wrong, but that's my.
I mean, of course it's wrong. It's your opinion.
Oh, well, shit. I recently made a YouTube video that said I was wrong. It'll get uploaded in 2 weeks from now, but because I tell people things on YouTube, and if I'm wrong and people start listening to my advice, I better fucking tell people, hey, I was wrong, don't follow that advice.
Is that where I proved you wrong?
I suppress the information.
So 2 laws that I've told people I was wrong.
Do you get a special ahead of time sneak peek of what 2 laws you've
Told people they can break.
Sorry, that they can what?
I've told people they can break these laws. And apparently,
Disclaimer from our
wrong.
legal department. Do not
Yeah.
listen to Juan.
yeah,
Juan is always wrong.
this is
Please
Juan's
do not
opinion.
break the laws.
This is Juan's opinion and not necessarily legal advice.
The federal judge may disagree with Juan. They are generally correct because they get paid to be correct.
Michael's getting a nice thunderstorm. I miss thunderstorms.
Me too.
Yeah, I would love a.
First thing is, well, let's go to one law that you guys will understand.
Dumb?
Huh?
So are you calling us dumb?
The second law, yes. You guys will not know that law. The first law. What does the move over, slow down law actually entail? If you read it.
Like if you're
For emergency vehicles, flashing lights. What do you have to actually do? Let's say you're on a 2-lane highway. No, 2-lane highway, and you see a cop has pulled somebody over in front of you on the shoulder.
Yeah, that you have to slow down to 70.
Yeah.
Is there any more to it?
Okay.
I don't
What about on a 4-lane highway, and there's a cop pulled over on the shoulder? Because the
Get out
laws.
of that lane and continue on?
That's what I said. The way that I've read the law, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but it says on a 2-lane highway you must slow down to 70 kilometers, and on a 4-lane highway you must move over. When somebody says, actually on a 4-lane highway you have to move over and slow down.
Yes.
Like, the way the law is written doesn't actually read that way.
It does make sense though.
So I asked,
it was just
and
confused.
the police are enforcing slow down on 4-lane as well.
Yes.
I'm like, the way it's written, I'm sure lawyers will probably win this case for some people,
Yeah.
because it says on 4-lane highways that you must move over.
I definitely always just read that as you have to slow down to 70, and then basically
So the move over law should have just left that the fucking out of the law.
well,
So you know then somebody would stay in that lane.
Oh, but
because
you
people
do. When you're in Vancouver and it's a 4-lane highway, you cannot move into that outside lane. you will stay in that lane. You just slow down, right? So I will not move over for a cop on the shoulder on a big 4-lane highway if it's bumper-to-bumper traffic. I'll just go drive by them really slowly. As far as that goes, I don't think any cops forcing anything there unless you do something that they feel they were endangered.
Yeah.
Because that is the reason for the law, is to keep emergency workers safe. So
Yeah.
the law is a good law.
Yeah.
It's a good law, but I read it a certain way, so I asked how it was being enforced. It's like, okay, I am wrong. I thought that it was this way, but I was wrong. The other one is when, in fact, Jeff and I have talked about this. It's like, hey guys, I just blew past the scale because the scale ramp is full. It is illegal to impede traffic on the highway.
Yeah.
It's against the law to impede traffic on the highway. So if a scale ramp is full and the trucks have all pulled into the scale, and if I stop to go into the scale, I will be impeding traffic. So I legally need to bypass the scale and not scale myself.
I mean, that kind of makes sense because, like,
Apparently I'm wrong.
are you
Yeah, I was
seriously?
gonna say, I'm.
Talk to the officer and they're like, yeah, she just goes, you probably won't get a ticket, but yes, technically, all commercial vehicles must report to scale, even if you're impeding the traffic on the road. Technically, you should turn on your four-way flashers and just stop on the highway.
Huh.
And then she also
That seems
said,
problematic.
it does, it's so dangerous. Just like that construction down by Hope, right? A semi didn't stop and full speed rear-ended two other semis and killed himself because it's like that same thing would happen at scales then. People don't expect you to stop.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate stopping in a spot where people don't expect me to stop. So yeah, you're gonna break one or the other laws.
I was
Yeah,
about to say, like,
You have
the
to
Tim,
break a law then.
You're just
the
choosing,
Tim Hortons,
To break the law that kills people or the law that doesn't kill people.
Yeah. And they favor the one where it's gonna kill people. But she also said, if all of a sudden we see a truck drop bypass, they take a quick look at the ramp and go, oh, ramp is full. They hit the closed scale sign
Yeah.
and let the ramp empty, and then they hit the open sign. So
yeah, that makes more sense.
they do try to close the scale when the ramp is full. She goes, yeah, if you're empty, whatever, but if you look like you're a heavy load, we might chase you. Or if you look like there's something wrong with the truck and you're bypassing to avoid the scale, we'll probably chase you. And apparently some scales have given out really stupid, high, expensive tickets for bypassing the scale. Like, note to self, when I'm empty, I will continue bypassing the scale. If I am loaded with a big wide load or something big, I will just pull into the scale and impede traffic. Or pull onto the shoulder and do my best, right?
That's where you just stop in the middle of the highway, make it a big problem. That's how you get laws changed.
That's true.
I mean, that's
But
how you get people
You
killed.
might also accidentally kill someone.
But that's how laws change.
That's how laws
By-
change, by killing people. Yes,
Yep.
you are right.
Not a particularly good system.
But that is the system we have.
Kind of is the system we have. Yep.
So how are you guys enjoying the stream? All about that.
Yes. Yes.
So now that Crafting Spirit has had
Yep.
surgery, what are do they give you percentages of success rate now?
I mean, meh. Not really.
They don't want to be liable for giving you percentages?
Well, it's yeah. The whole thing is just it's it's really hard to go,
No.
okay, these are the numbers, because every case is going to be different,
Yeah.
and they might just be giving you
False hope or
false
this
threat.
idea that this is how it's going to work, and then it might not turn out that way. So yeah, it's a tough situation.
I imagine your anxiety was through the frickin' roof.
Nah. It's honestly it really hasn't been. Because this is weird. One of those things where weirdly like I can sometimes do a really good job of not panicking about the stuff I can't do anything about, and this is a giant pile of I can't do anything about.
True.
So
There's
I've
a
actually
difference.
I've been doing all right for that. The things I get more anxious about are the things where I do get to do something about, like when like what do I pack for next week?
Son of a.
Gotta remember to breathe.
Fuck.
Just don't breathe underwater. So that's like a lot of my anxiety is more centered on. All right, what do
Things like
I?
At an airport, you know what. Yeah, you can decide what gate you are, how fast to get to the gate, stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of my my anxiety is. Okay, how do I basically what happens at the hospital? I have no sway over, so I can just kind of let go of that. But what happens after the hospital suddenly is a lot more I'm involved in.
It's a you problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a me problem. I don't like me problems. I like having a lot better when it's a somebody else's problem.
See you, Iron
Well,
Thunder.
that's where we can help. Yeah, see, Iron Thunder, thanks for joining. See, we're scaring away people. We're talking about death.
Yes. Excellent. That's what we
Well-
were. That was our goal today.
But you just have to remember, we can help.
Oh yeah. And that is where a lot of the stress is down, and that's where like with Doom and family, a lot of stress basically reduced there by the fact that people are like, oh yeah, you need a just emergency place to stay. We can offer that for you, and I'm like, that
Yeah.
makes my life just so much easier. That's one thing I just don't have to plan for.
Michael's still there, bragging about how people don't slow down for cops in Texas. That was a weird experience in Texas the first time. I think it was maybe an ambulance coming down the highway. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody moves out of the way. Ambulance coming down the highway. Someone's dying. Nobody gives a shit. They just keep driving their speed down the highway. I'm like, dude, what if that's your grandpa dying? Your kid dying?
Well, maybe Grandpa should have thought about it.
Apparently. It's just such a weird... I don't know if that's a Texas thing or a US thing, but...
I think that's a. I don't think that exists outside of states that have particularly high speed limits.
Like, what's the thinking behind that? We're driving at such a high speed limit, they can work their way around?
Well, it more so is like why bother slowing down when
They will have come and gone by the time
like
I can get out of the way.
you slowing down makes more of a hazard.
Could impede the ambulance, yeah. I don't necessarily slow down for ambulances. I get out of the way, though.
Yeah, I would definitely get out of the way for ambulance.
Nothing.
Texas.
They don't get out of the way.
Uh,
Just fucking keep driving. It's like,
yeah. So there's definitely one thing that was bugging me a bit while I was in Vancouver on the weekend. The amount of people who, when traffic goes kind of nasty, that just go screw it and use the HOV lane just bothers me.
Oh yeah, HOV lane is for whoever wants it once there's traffic.
I'm like, this is literally the point of the HOV lane, and you're like, nah. This inconveniences me, so screw the purpose of the HOV lane. Yeah, it just blows my mind a little, where I'm like, but guys. The HOV lane is for high occupancy vehicles. I see all of you single single operators in your cars hopping into the HOV lane because you saw how backed up the on-ramp was onto the regular on-ramp of the highway's all backed up, so they use the HOV one and then immediately get out of the HOV lane. And it's like, yeah. This just comes down to, it's not enforced, so it's like speeding. Just everyone does it because, meh, I won't get caught.
And the few people that do get caught, is that a moving violation? Would that be a
I don't know if it'd be a moving violation or not.
or would that be a demerit or not? Moving violation is a demerit.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you get a speeding ticket, that's a demerit. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's a demerit for HOV lane.
Because tickets that are not a demerit, who the fuck cares? You just pay the ticket.
Yeah.
Well, having said that, I'm going to court for mine, but
Yeah. But for the most part, you can safely ignore them, just pay them and move on. But even then, as long as you're not getting a lot of tickets, you can just even also soak the demerit ones too. Like, when you're driving, what percentage of the time are you speeding?
all the time.
How many speeding tickets do you have?
None.
So, like for you, with your job, getting just a speeding ticket at all can be a problem.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's like, for me,
A speeding ticket would not be a problem.
Yeah, but you
Multiple
can't-
speeding tickets
yeah.
would be a problem.
but like for me, a speeding ticket is not a problem at all. I have to get enough that they actually would like stick to my license, long term. And beyond that, I just don't have to care. So
Doesn't even one demerit reduce or increase your insurance?
I didn't think it did. Maybe I'm wrong. I
don't
wouldn't know
know.
because I've never had a. I don't think so. I think it's got to be more than one. Like I think it's got to be a certain amount.
Before they actually
Yeah, before.
increases for your unsafe driver.
Yeah. So one excessive does,
Excessive.
but you have to
would
be
make a
40 over for it to be excessive. Which is why I sometimes pick a speed that is not 40 over.
difference. Yes.
The speed is
When on motorcycle, not 40 over is important.
It's like, how fast am I going? Not 40 over.
Not 40 over.
That's the important bit of this.
You tired?
Very tired.
Oh, and because no, you're not hosting the.
I'm hosting the stream.
You're hosting the stream, but you can end the stream, but
Yeah.
the game doesn't immediately have.
Okay.
Speaking of, I am tired, so
Uh,
I'm probably gonna get ready to quit. But
okay, well, we'll say our goodbyes then.
are you forcing us to say our goodbyes?
On the stream, at least.
Jess is being mean and making us go. So hang on, Michael. You guys have checkpoints. I guess cameras, huh? Hey, did anyone figure out what my name means? Does it show my name?
I think you're trying really hard to find anything to keep the stream going.
No, I want. I was excited about my name.
How about you join
I
the
don't
green
think I've
team?
seen it close
Oh,
enough.
green
Like,
team. There we
Great.
go.
There.
Anyone know?
Besides me?
I did not.
It's a pretty dumb name, like Rang Floyd, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't think. Use those letters to come up with a better name. If you guys throw those letters into a search engine on Google, you guys will have the only real word that has all those letters. There's only one word that has all those letters. So throw it in Google, search those letters, like a Scrabble site or something like that. You'll have it. I could build an iron pickaxe.
Ah,
Makes
I
sense?
see. Yep, makes sense.
I could build an iron pickaxe, but I also want to save iron for other stuff. Okay. Now that at least James knows what my name means, I guess I'm happy to call it a bail out. Or Jess is streaming, so she can decide when to call it a day.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
just.
I
I'm
mean,
in
I
the
can decide. Jess can decide. Everyone except for you can decide.
I have no power. Wait,
You have no power here.
Yes.
they're happy. We can build a forest pylon. And we don't have the money for it, I guess. But we can build. James, do you know about pylons?
No.
No, he doesn't really know about NPC happiness.
So you have to get your NPCs happy.
Yeah.
And if you go to the merchant now, he sells a forest pylon. So you're gonna have to build an NPC. I know, kidnapping the stream again, but you're gonna have to build an NPC house in the forest. Oh, we are in the forest. You're gonna have to build two separate NPC homes in two different forests. One of them will be the merchant, nurse, arms dealer. The other one will be zoologist and golfer. And then in each of those, you're going to be able to buy a forest pylon.
Okay.
Place that pylon in that building, and then you can teleport from one building to the other. You have to be pretty close to the pylon to work. So then you have to build a house in the hollow. There will be party girl and wizard. Put a pylon in there. Underground hollow, put a pylon in there. In the desert, pylon. Jungle, pylon. Ocean, pylon. Glowing mushroom. Snow, underground snow. All of them can have pylons, and then you can map to all those at your convenience. So placing where your merchants, NPCs will be placed in the houses to be happy. Because once they're happy, that pylon is for sale.
Well, not only that, the prices go up and down.
That's interesting. That's actually kind of cool.
If the merchants are happy, the prices are much cheaper to buy and a lot higher to sell. So if they're happy, the merchant prices will be in your favor. So that's something they added to the game that makes it more complicated and kind of fun having that extra challenge.
Yeah.
And they can only be so close together, and yeah, there's a lot of things to it. But yeah, I'm ending the stream. Thanks for everybody for joining.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys rock.
Adios.
Everyone have a good night. Or a good morning. Or something.
That's
Let's say,
you're not
have a good
streaming,
have it
so-
good or something.
Yeah, I better go.